Hey travelers, Jed and I are planning our itinerary for Europe for about 7 months from now. We have the beginning and end points pretty much set, but we're not sure if we could add another point in the middle. We have 3 months total in the Schengen zone, so I'm going to use Google Flights to see what our options are. It's similar but slightly different from what we covered in the Book Better Flights course, so I wanted to show you what I'm looking at. So we are at flights.google.com, and in the first half of our trip, we are house sitting on the coast of Portugal. It's between Lisbon and Porto, so I'm going to add both of those airports. Lisbon and Porto is what we're searching from. I'm looking for a one-way to another destination. I'm going to keep it at one person, even though there's 2 adults flying. I just want to see what the prices look like at this point, and Google Flights often will just show you the combined price of 2 people. I find that confusing. So I'm leaving where to blank. That's exactly what I'm trying to figure out here. And then I know that it will be around February 15th. I'm just going to click Explore and see what it shows me. So as you can see, the pink dots are Lisbon and Porto airports. That's where we're flying out of. And these are all the options, the cheapest flights on this day. Now, I want to narrow this down a little bit, so I'm going into filters. We're looking for a convenient third destination, maybe between Lisbon and France, or maybe we'll just go to France first and then find a third destination after that. So to make it convenient, I think I'm gonna look only at non-stops. Leaving price, I don't really care what airlines at this point. Again, I don't want to have to wake up in the middle of the night to get to the airport, and I don't want to be awake too late. I am not a night owl. So I don't mind arriving really early, although that would mean flying overnight. And then, yeah, a lot of these flights are not factoring in a bag. At this point, I only have the option to add a carry-on bag, not a checked bag. But that's good enough. You can see some of the prices have already changed based on that filter. So I can zoom in a little bit and it's going to show me a few more airports. I can also see the list over here. They're ranked by popularity and cost and convenience. So it's not necessarily low to high price, but you can see Madrid would be super cheap from Porto. You can also see the logo of the airlines, which is nice. Seville, I have been wanting to go there, so I'll definitely keep that in mind. Athens, that's a far flight for just $89. Definitely would consider that. I mean, the other thing is we do need to get to Paris to go see my family, and $44, that is a good deal. So I'm just going to check that out real quick. You can see, okay, Transavia, I've never heard of that airline. So I'm definitely going to Google that and see how the reviews look, especially maybe how it compares to Ryanair, because I'm a little more familiar with that. I know it's kind of just the basics. The other thing to note here is because this is just searching to Paris, it doesn't mean a Paris central airport. We have 3 different airports represented here. So Orly, Charles de Gaulle, and then this Beauvais. Okay, so Ryanair often goes to airports that are outside of town. But let's just see if we can get a little bit more information. Oh, I'm going to click View Flights here. So I have 2 different options on this Transavia. Both are pretty good times because I did filter by the time. So 2.5 hours, economy. It's often delayed. That's pretty typical of these budget airlines. Below average legroom, that's also typical of budget airlines. So you can see here, legroom on TAP Portugal is 31 inches, 29 inches. Fortunately, we're short people, and if it's a short flight, that's not too important to me. So these are pretty good options. We might have to just start out in France and then go back to the drawing board here and figure out where could we go from Paris. So this is kind of just an example. I'm keeping all of my same filters in this case. Taking a look at my options. So I hope this is helpful for you to see if you're not paying out of pocket and you want to use a similar feature with points. I've just heard about this. Points, yeah. You do need an account. You can do a free account to kind of see some different options. But I've already entered Lisbon to anywhere. I haven't signed in or signed up for an account, so it's only giving me a round trip option, I believe, and I can't change the dates at this point. But it's showing me how many points it would cost and what are the different reward plans that would feed to Airplan Canada, which is the point system that you need to purchase this flight. Here it's United you need, and Bilt and Chase points both transfer to United. So that's pretty handy. I am not using it in this instance because we like to save up our points for long overseas flights, and we tend to get more value. We can find, 8 or 9 months out, usually pretty good business class deals before they get super expensive. And so using points on a flight that is only going to cost $100 anyways is not a good value in my opinion. So that's why I'm searching to pay out of pocket for these shorter flights. All right, hope this was helpful to you.